So I'm doing a TEDx talk and I'm a speaking coach. I've coached speakers for years to get in front of big TEDx audiences, and guess what? I have a whole lot of fears coming up. So I'm gonna give you some secrets in the TEDx world. Last week I had my first coaching call with my TEDx coach, and it was funny. We got on the call and he said something. He's like, me coaching you feels a bit weird because this is what you do. And I said, hey, absolutely, and I appreciate this because I am in the mindset that I'm the student. And that's the only way I have to be. If I show up as a coach, guess what? I'll be analyzing and dissecting, and I'll be closed off from making changes. But let me tell you, there was about 2 weeks ago, I was on vacation, and I was sitting there, and I sat down in this coffee shop. I'm in Bali, it's an amazing scene, and I'm sitting there starting to plan out my TEDx talk, and I started thinking about what is humanity's biggest challenges? And I was thinking really, really big. For me, switching environments, going on vacation can make all the difference. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what are humanity's biggest problems? And confidence and the lack of it. When people lack confidence, what happens? They get into jobs that they don't love. They get into relationships they don't love. They operate from a place of neediness as opposed to confidence. They are more afraid of losing instead of focused on winning. And all of these, I'm thinking, when a person has confidence, they change their life. And the more people that confidently change their life, the more the world is going to improve. Okay, so confidence is actually the key to changing the world. And so I'm sitting with this, and I'm like, holy shit, like this is a big topic. This is a big, big, big responsibility. And then some resistance pops up. It's like, okay, you are a speaking coach. You help people get in front of, hundreds to thousands of people in the audience to deliver the talks to their lives. You better crush it. Like, what happens if you don't? And I'm sitting with it. I'm like, oh my God. I just felt so much pressure coming up. It's like, yeah, Jesus, I'm going to be under the microscope. Never mind just getting up and doing it. I have to absolutely crush it. And what if I don't? What if I'm not good enough? What if on the comments, people write down, this guy is a public speaking coach. He doesn't even look like the best speaker on that day. And all these thoughts start going through my mind. Again, one of the biggest lessons that I learned going to Bali was about on the journey to master our emotions. So mastering our emotions is to see what part of me gets riled up. Where do the insecurities come up from? And being able to sit with it and observe and challenge them. And so when I was on this first coaching call, I was speaking with my coach, his name's Michael, and we're going through, and I'm talking about it going, okay, yeah, confidence is going to be the big piece of the talk. And then he started joking about it, going, how do you feel about delivering it? And I sat there, I'm like, you know what? There's pressure. And he's like, well, what if that pressure is self-imposed? And I'm like, you're absolutely right. How much of this pressure that we put on ourselves to be confident speakers comes from being self-imposed? And that's something that comes up a lot even with my clients is, they're up there and they're entrepreneurs, they have a great product or service, and they're feeling that they have to crush their talk. And I'm like, why? Why do you have to crush that talk? Who put that pressure on you? Because the fact is that the fear of public speaking is one of the most common fears in the world. So when you're speaking, most people in that audience would absolutely be in a state of dread if they had to be in your position. So maybe by you getting up there, you're actually doing something that they're looking up to. That they're looking up to and going, wow, look at them. Look at their courage to get up there and do that. Because whenever a person takes these courageous actions, they instantly get positioned as a leader. So every time you put yourself out there, you're being positioned as a leader. Now the fears that come up, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, what if I humiliate myself? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I offend somebody? Oh, what if you offend somebody? Guess what? This whole offending thing, you will never be able to safeguard that fear. Okay, that's something that you really need to get comfortable with, because anything that you say can be offended because you have no idea about a person's background, their experience, their upbringing. So you don't know what's offensive to somebody. I gave a talk 5 years ago. I went back to my old university and I was giving a talk sharing about my panic attacks, and this young woman gets up and runs out of the classroom probably 20 minutes into it. And at the end of it, I go in the hallway and she comes up and she's like, hey, I'm really sorry. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no worries. It's okay. She goes, no, when you were talking about your panic attacks, just the emotions, it brought me back to a PTSD situation that I had, and I relived it and I had to run out. I'm like, oh my God, like, hey, no worries. Now, here's the thing. Do you imagine that if I had that fear going, I can't get into details and tell my truth around panic attacks and anxiety because maybe it could trigger somebody's PTSD around that. Well, if that was the case, I would never do a video. I would never put myself out there. So I always look at it as I'm going to share it myself fully, and people are going to react to it however they're going to react to it. I can't control that. It actually brings me back to, I was in Bali, and I met with this healer. His name is Pac-Man, and he was one of the top 2 healers in Ubud, and I was so excited to go see him. I went, sat down. He doesn't speak English. He has a British wife who does the translating, and so we're sitting down, and the day before I did what most people do, and I go on Google and start reading these reviews, and it's like, oh my God, the most intense pain I've ever felt. I didn't know pain like this was possible for a human, and I'm sitting there going, oh, this is going to be painful? I just wanted to go on a healing journey, and he does manual adjustments. And so we sit down, and we're doing our little pre-session talk, and he goes to me, he's like, his wife goes, what is it that you want Pac-Man to heal you with? And I'm like, opening the heart. That's been the recurring theme for that trip. Open the heart up. And I ask her, how much is this going to hurt? And she's like, why do you think it's going to hurt? I'm like, I just read some blogs and everything was saying about how much pain it is. And she goes like, that's the part that pisses me off because we don't have a chance to respond. She's like, all these bloggers, she's like, think about it, bloggers get clicks based on sensationalism. And so if it said that it was actually a very gentle experience, it wouldn't get the headlines that it does. And she's like, we don't get the chance to respond. And she's like, that's the part that pisses me off. And I'm like, look, I'm here anyways because I felt called to it. But it made so much sense that when you put yourself out there, you don't have a chance to respond. You don't have a chance to respond to all the comments on YouTube or what people are saying outside of YouTube. You don't have these opportunities. But the part that was so powerful is she goes, you know what? She goes, like, Lucas, we just focus on healing and doing good work. And we control what we can control. People can say what they want, but it's about us doing good work and helping people heal and feel better. And it was so liberating. For the record, I went through the session. I was shocked at how painless it was. It felt nothing. He's got good pressure, but I was like, this is like a regular massage. It didn't feel anything intense. So bring it back full circle. Is that you don't control what people say. You won't control what people think or put out there about you, but it's about staying connected with yourself and doing your best. So on this coaching call, as we wrapped it up, I said to Michael, my coach, my TEDx coach, I'm like, you know what? I know this is going to be a confronting process. I understand. I fully embrace it. I know it's going to be confronting. And he goes, well, what if you don't? What if you actually make this fun? And I sat back with it. I go, you know what? That's true. I actually have a choice. Even on the parts that are confronting, maybe if I approach it from the place of let's have fun with it, it's going to change my energy. And so that's the thing with you. Most people they're doing a TEDx talk, expect a whole bunch of personal resistance to pop up. That's part of the journey. But what's optional is that going to be dreaded, or are you going to approach it from a place of fun? When you approach it for fun, that can create a whole new experience for you. And that's the one that I'm taking on. And that's why I encourage you to take on this journey. Whether it's speaking on video or on stage, it's how much fun can you have with it? Because at the end of the day, life is short, and our voice, it's your birthright. It's your birthright to speak because your message matters, your voice matters. So when you put yourself out there, you're doing an act of service because you're inspiring others to know that it's possible for them too. So do you want to approach it from a place of dread or a place of fun? That is your choice. So choose fun because that's going to make this whole journey happen so much easier, so much more fun, and so much more impact as you go to lead your dream life. And with that, if you want more information, you feel a connection, you want to vibe with this, go to levelupliving.com. You'll see our different courses that we offer that will be the fast track for you to become a confident public speaker.